Hello everyone, it is Briximus Prime. I'm very excited because I'm back for another Transformers Kingdom action figure review, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Transformers Kingdom Leader Class Galvatron. And yes, this is the exact same Galvatron figure that was recently reissued into the Transformers Legacy line, which is why I'm talking about it now, because I have the Kingdom version, not the Legacy version, but I want to review this guy now that he's back in relevance. And now with Galvatron out of the way, taking a look at his packaging. Right up first and foremost, he has some amazing artwork going on right here with Galvatron in his robot mode and in his giant tank cannon mode. You can see the arc in the background. It says he's a leader class. Kingdom War for Cybertron Trilogy. It says Transformers Generations Tommy. It says Galvatron here on the top. We got the Decepticon symbol here on the side. You got this nice Kingdom artwork. Authentic Transformers! And, yeah, here on the back, it got some pretty nice imagery. He has 33 steps. He does include the Matrix of Leadership. And, yeah, there's nothing much authentic Transformers. He's twice as authentic. But anyway, that is it for that. And then the collector card that Galvatron came with is the exact same collector card I got with Airazor last time. It was the Arc, where it has the Decepticon. Oh, shoot! I got the Autobot Arc that has the Arc Alternate Future. I actually do not have this card. Oh, shoot! I thought this was a different one. No. This is actually a much different version of the Arc that I don't have. Sweet! That's really cool. So, yeah, I actually had no idea that that was the version of this card I had. I just pulled out the Arc, and I was just like, oh, it's the Arc. I had no idea that I had that. That's really cool. And now getting into Galvatron's accessories. First off, he does come with his classic orange fusion cannon. The transparent plastic does look a little weird with all the stuff on the inside, but it's got some orange paint right there at the base, and it looks pretty good. And then here at this base right here, it's got some nice silver. It's cast in black plastic, and the silver really pops. And then he comes with two of these guns, which are molded and sculpted to look like his ship, the Revenge, because you're supposed to be able to take this, and you can peg this onto the display with HasLab Unicron, if any of you out there own HasLab Unicron, so you can have another ship kind of posed around with it. You can combine these two together. There's a little tab and a hole right there that goes together, and basically you can form these into one big gun or one big ship, who cares, but anyway, don't really care for these that much, but they do look cool on the alternate mode. And then finally, Galvatron comes with the Matrix of Leadership on the chain, which is based on the '86 film. And yeah, the Matrix this time around is painted instead of made of transparent plastic. And this is the same Matrix that we've gotten many times before with many other figures. So anyway, that's it for the accessories, showing off their integration into the alternate mode. First off, the big orange cannon, you remove the orange part. And FYI, this is actually a really tight fit. This is not a really loose fit. This just goes in there. And then this little bit just goes across the top right here. It just goes right there. And then for these, you want to split them apart. And these are going to go right on here. There's a tab right there and a tab right there. There's a slot right there and a slot right in there. That is just going to peg in on the sides like so. There you go. And then finally, the Matrix loops around the cannon. And then there is a hole right there. There's a tab on the bottom of the Matrix, and it just pegs on right there. And yeah, there you got the integration of the weapons into the alternate mode. And that now leads us into the cannon mode. And yeah, this is Galvatron in his big cannon mode, and it's nice big purple and gray, and I like it. I do like the way how it looks. It does have a lot of nice mechanical detail, but anyway, let's just get right on in to the details. So I showed off earlier, there's the big orange cannon, like I showed off just before. You got the two, let me remove these off just so you can see. There are some nice bits of mechanical detail highlights, and I love this gunmetal gray highlight going around the barrel right there. And then if you remove the orange barrel, you can see just how much mechanical detail has been incorporated into this alternate mode, it looks really, really good. I like the way how it looks. Got lots of mechanical detail just going all throughout. He's got his robot mode shins right there. You can see his feet. He's got the little peg right there. He's got the treads on his arms. He's got some silver in there. He's got some rolling wheels. You can see the visible robot chest right there. The wheels do allow this thing to roll as if it's a tank or maybe like a slow-moving turret. But also, I do understand that back in G1, Galvatron had a gun mode where you could convert the cannon into a slight gun mode. The only thing I can really pull off here is to fold the arms down like so. If it doesn't untab on me, that is. Fold the arms downward like that, and then bring down the leg like this, and basically you can hold it from this angle right here, and then you have the little handheld gun. But honestly, it's nothing really different. It's just a little fidgeting around with the figure, really. But anyway, getting into the size comparisons here. And then here is Leader Class Galvatron next to the Voyager Class Siege Megatron. As you can see, Megatron is not really that much smaller than Galvatron, but hey, they're basically the same guy, so I guess it counts. So, yeah, anyway, that's it for the comparisons. And now, getting into Galvatron's transformation. Obviously, if you have the other accessories on there, remove those. If you want to remove this bit, remove that, and then we can begin. You got Galvatron in his robot mode there, but obviously Galvatron is not complete without his cannon. What you then want to do is you want to peg these together. And then here's one of the nice things I like about this figure. He has two ports right here on his arm, so you can peg it in on the lower one, so then it can act like the classic Megatron fusion cannon. Or you can peg it a little higher, and then it's more accurate to the toy one, where he has to kind of shift his in, kind of like a null ray. So, anyway, there is that. And then, I guess, just for the piece of resistance, you can put this around his neck. And there you go, Galvatron's now got the drip going on. And yeah, that is it for Galvatron's transformation. Obviously, there's a few more steps that I kind of added in there because of the accessories, but hey, he looks pretty good, I have to say. So, let's get into the details. Just to show you the integration of these into the robot mode, the instructions tell you to put them like this, but I feel like that sits a little too high above his head, so what I do is there's a little tab right here, and I just peg that in. It's a little bit of a looser fit, but it makes it hide behind his back all that much more, so that he still obtains his silhouette. So anyway, that is it for Galvatron. And taking a look at Galvatron's head, I love how Galvatron looks. They really have captured the likeness in his face. The silver and the red eyes are very piercing. And I like how he got the little chin, and then he's got his classic purple bucket head with the little crown on the top. It just looks good. And also, I want to mention, I like the shade of purple they used. The shade of purple looks really good. They got the purple Decepticon symbol in the chest, and yes, elephant in the room. There is a little bit of battle damage that is removed on this guy, but version. He's got his classic red abs in there, some nice silver highlights. The shoulders here got some silver trim going around the black. And then the arms, got a little bit of that battle damage as mentioned before. Again, got some purple there on the crotch plate. There's the giant cannon with some nice paint apps. The shins, got some nice There are a lot of mechanical detail throughout this figure. The shins look good, got the little like red gem kind of looking things inside the knees. I like the little black pylons right here. Got the little shoes. And then there's a little bit of a black wash going across there. And then, as kibble management, he's hardly got any kibble on his back. The only kibble is really these little bits right here on the back of his forearms, and I guess you could count these hip skirts, but they don't really get in the way. They really get out of the way for articulation. Speaking of articulation, getting into Galvatron's articulation, he's got a ball joint at the head, which allows him to look up and down. He can rotate a full 360. Head can pivot a little bit. Shoulders can rotate a full 360. They can move up and down, just like so. These shoulders can also shift up and down to accommodate any posability. Bicep swivel. Double jointed elbows. The wrist can rotate and then hinge a little bit in and out due to transformation. He does get a waist rotation, which is a little bit hindered, but when you move the hip skirts out of the way, it allows for even more range. And then there's a little hinge at the crotch plate, which allows for the leg to kick forward that far. It can kick back that far. Hip skirt can allow it to kick outward farther than the splits. He does have an upper thigh cut. He has 90 degrees of bend at the knee, and then his ankle pivot is a little bit on the weak side, but you can mistransform him a little bit and get it to go a little deeper. As you can see, it does kind of stick out a little bit, but anyway, that is basically it for Galvatron's articulation. And I am aware of the shoulder issue on this guy. Basically, you have two options. You can rotate it like this, and then just rotate the bicep around, and then bam, the shoulder is sits a little bit higher than the other one. Or you can go in there and, there's a whole video that people have done on YouTube of you fixing the shoulders. But for now, I'm just going to keep him like this until I decide to fix those shoulders at some point. But anyway, that is it for Galvatron. Here is Galvatron next to the Siege Voyager class Megatron. And yes, again, Galvatron is only a little bit bigger and he does weigh a little bit heavier. But I actually like that they're almost the same size because it makes Galvatron and Megatron seem like they're almost the same person, which they are. So I do actually like the scaling here. Here is the Kingdom Voyager class Cyclonus. Oh, these guys look great together. And then finally, here is Galvatron next to the Voyager class Studio Series 86 Scourge. And yes, he looks really good with Scourge as well. And yes, I did mention that Galvatron's very posable, but did you know that you can pose him even more if you have a stand? Yeah, Galvatron definitely looks great when you get him onto a stand. Dang, that looks nice. And yeah, that is basically it for Kingdom Leader Class Galvatron. I'm just gonna get right to the point. I love this figure. Like, this figure was worth it. I love this figure because he has amazing articulation, and it's not because I have a bias towards purple or a bias towards Galvatron as a character. It's actually because I legitimately love this guy. The character was portrayed well within plastic form, because trust me, there's been a few times where I've had figures that don't feel like they were portrayed very well. But this guy looks great. I love the detail, the paint, the articulation. Obviously, the little battle damage thing might be a problem for some people, but not really for me. I actually kind of like it. And it gives him a little bit more depth. I kind of do like it. Makes him look not as plain as he normally could have been. But anyway, that is basically it for my review on the Leader Class Galvatron. And I hope you guys enjoyed the review. If you guys did enjoy the review, be sure to give me a like on the video. And if you guys have any opinions to share about Galvatron or any questions, leave a comment down below. And yeah, be sure to subscribe to the channel for more Transformers reviews. And I'll catch you guys next time.